Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my name is James Swenson. I'm a senior at Chanhassen High School, and my business is Platinum Lawn and Landscape. Basically what it is it's just your typical landscaping company. I started with mowing, and now I've kind of graduated into more of the landscape, hardscape kind of stuff. I started, I think, when I was around 9. My neighbor, an elderly woman, was out mowing her yard. My dad told me to go out there and just finish it up for her, no money or whatever, just kind of made me do it kind of thing. And I went over there, I finished it, and she gave me $25, and it was pretty much the easiest $25 I've ever made in my life. So I kind of decided that that was, what I was going to do when I was a young kid, to make some money, make some allowance, I guess you could say. And then it's slowly progressed from there. I take care of 35 weekly residential lawns. And then I usually squeeze in a couple landscape projects during the week. I guess it all kind of took off once I got my license, and I was able to go out further from just my neighbors into different neighborhoods, different cities even. And that's pretty much how I got started. Now what should I say?
Maybe just kind of transition into the entrepreneurship portion of it,
No, talk about the hardships and stuff
were there any challenges
Okay.
you had to go through?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge that I had to go through was probably my age. A lot of the things that you need to do landscaping wise, you have to be 18 for. A lot of just business stuff you have to be 18 for, to set up bank accounts or to license vehicles, any of that kind of stuff, you have to be 18. So being 13, 15, those young ages, I wasn't able to do a lot of things just legally. So I had to do it in my parents' name, which was always a pain. And I had to kind of work my way around that. So once I turned 18, I was able to get all the stuff into my name, and now I don't have to really work, which was a huge stress relief for me, because I don't know. What's another thing? That was hard. Another thing was school was always a big challenge for me. Still is a challenge because I am still in school. Finding the time to be able to work all day, and especially since I need daylight. I get out right now at 3 o'clock, and I only have an hour and a half, if I'm lucky, of daylight to get stuff done. So that was always a challenge. What else was?
Did you ever have to leave? Did you leave school
Like
did you just not
online?
go to school? Because yeah, so maybe go over that.
Okay.
How that changed your life, kind of.
Okay, so in order to get all my work done, my parents would call me in sick, and I was able to work that entire day and finish any lawn mowing that I had to get done, or any last minute projects that I had to get done, just to satisfy my clients and not, procrastinate and take any longer than it needed to be. Another thing that I did last year, junior year, I took second semester online through a completely different school. Dropped out of Chanhassen, went to Minnesota Virtual High School, and I was able to pretty much work full time, minus a couple hours a day for school. And that was a huge help, because it allowed me to have the time to work, whereas in school I was in school all day. So that was really cool. I was able to grow my business a lot that spring, because that's pretty much the biggest time of the year. That's where you get all your clients for the year. That's where you spring cleanups and mulch and everybody wants everything done in the spring. So that was really nice to have that kind of free and not have to go to school.
Do you want to maybe go over what it takes to kind of build more clientele? Just kind of interpersonal relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I haven't done anything for marketing other than I did I think 1,500 door hangers, which was a complete waste of time. I got one, maybe two clients from that, and it took almost a week to get them all out. So for what I do for marketing, I rely mostly on word of mouth, which is the best marketing that you can get, because it's free and people like hearing good things from other people. So if you do a good job, they're likely to refer you to their friends, and that's the best way to go, because then people already know you're trustworthy, you do a good job, you're gonna get it done on time. So that's kind of what I've relied on. Another thing, there's a lot of apps and Facebook groups that you can join for neighborhoods and cities, that it's basically just a bunch of parents or homeowners that just talk about whatever they need done. So that someone will say, for an example, is they'll say, we're in need of a plumber. Does anybody know a plumber? And all the neighbors will write down on there, oh, so and so from so and so, or so and so from Jake's Plumbing or whatever, and they'll refer them. And I've gotten a lot of jobs from that. People just recommending me, neighbors recommending me. And that's pretty much how I get most of my clientele now, and that's awesome because it's free too, so you don't have to pay anybody to do that. As far as in the future, it's kind of hard with landscaping because you can't really do a commercial because you're not going to really reach anybody that's in need. So I think the best way, and what I'm looking to do in the future, is to build a good website so that when people type in landscaping near me, I come up and I'm not way back in the pages. So that's what I'd like to do in the future for marketing, is a web page. What else would I say?
Why entrepreneurship is important and why you think it's a good thing.
Why it's like necessary.
Okay, yeah, I think entrepreneurship is pretty much it's the only way I could go. I can't stand sitting in school. I could never be a doctor. I could never go through that much school. I hate math. I hate all that stuff. What I like doing is talking with people and then working with my hands. So that's why entrepreneurship was good for me. Just because I don't want to work for somebody. I want to work for clients, but I want to be getting paid. I don't want to have a boss me around telling me what to do. Even though your clients do that sometimes, but that's what they're supposed to do, and that's going to happen. So entrepreneurship, I think, is really important because it's easier than people think it is. If you have a good idea or even not a good idea, and you just start with it and just see what you can build from that, it does work out, and it's nice because you don't have to work for anybody. So it's just all. But the downside to that is anything that happens that's negative, it's your reputation that's going to get ruined if your boys do a bad work or something like that. So that's the only downside to it, I would say. But the headaches and stuff, that's all fun. That's what makes it good. So.
Let's see here.
Can I talk about like equipment or like stuff that I've gotten?
Go ahead, sure.
So, like I said, once I got a car, that was kind of once everything took off. So I've had my license for a little over 2 years, and I've had 5 different vehicles, and only one of them was because of a crash. So that's really fun because that's the main reason why I even started to make money, is because I love trucks and I love having nice equipment, and I knew the only way I was going to have that when I was young. The only way I was going to have that when I was young was if I worked and did lawn care. So now, I have a super nice F-350, which is pretty much my dream truck, and I'm only 18. So that was super awesome that I have that, and I got trailers and mowers and everything, and looking to get a shop next year, possibly some land, which I would never even, come close to having if I just, worked for $10 an hour somewhere. Not that that's bad. I think that's awesome, but I wanted nice stuff, and my parents weren't going to get it for me, so I kind of had to get it on my own. So.
Last thing.
I was trying to say that. I was trying to get you to say something about talking how you bought it yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
Talk about your parents' involvement in your company and how it's been.
Did your dad or any other relative or neighbor
help you
inspire
out?
you?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Or did you inspire anybody else
Okay.
so far? Just kind of stuff like that.
Okay. Basically, my parents have been 100% supportive. They call me in sick when I need to get work done. They know that this is the way that I'm gonna be, and that I'm not gonna go to college and do all that stuff. I'm gonna continue what I've already done. As far as financially, they don't really have enough money to support what I need, just because it's all super expensive. So, and I think that's kind of a good thing, because then I've kind of learned that if I want something, I got to work for it. My parents aren't going to help me. They'll support me, but they're not going to actually help me. So that was kind of cool. I've liked that about my parents. Also, my dad, he knows a little bit about how business works and that kind of stuff. So they've definitely helped me, supported me and everything like that. But as far as financially, that was all on me, and I think that's the way to go, because when people hand you stuff, when it's given to you, it's just not as, you don't feel like you have to go pay it off. Like when I get this truck, it's like, well, now I got to go pay for this truck. I can't just have this sit around in the driveway or anything. Whereas if it was handed to me, I might be like, whatever, I can work tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. But it really motivates you once you start buying all this stuff to really go out and work and use it. I don't know if I've inspired anybody. I like to think that I have. I've had friends say, they're jealous of me and this and this and that. But I don't know if I've actually inspired somebody to get off the couch and go start something. I've tried to, and hopefully I will someday, but we'll see. So.
Okay, I think we're good. We good?
Yeah, we're good. Thank
Perfect.
you so much.
Oh, thank you. I want to
That
see
was
you.
awesome.
Yeah. No, actually, when we're done editing.